from the team. Call the morning steam, it's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
And a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Monday, March 31st. Goodbye, March. Hello, April. Let's get ready for the rest of our sports betting calendar here in 2025. We know the combatants for the Final Four next weekend, and we know who it will be after yesterday's two national regional finals. We know now it will be Florida taking on Auburn, Houston taking on Duke, the top four seeds in the NCAA tournament. Did you see it coming with those four number one seeds? Is just the second time that all four number one seeds will appear in the Final Four. The first time, of course, was back in 2008. Houston, meanwhile, they played the toughest route to ever get there. So you could say that maybe Houston, even with our four elite teams that include Duke, of course, going up against Houston, but Houston had to beat the four toughest possible seeds that you can play to get there. That also was kind of for the first time in 8 years, they had to beat a number 8, a number 4, and a number 2 seed to get there to the Final Four. So Houston does that. They beat Tennessee 69-50. The Cougars led 34-15 at halftime and kind of cruised to the victory there. We did have our one premium pick on the under in that game. Between the two games, our one premium pick there was Tennessee and a Houston game to go under here with my sports money premiums. Meanwhile, it was Auburn beating Michigan State as Auburn got off to that good start. 23-8 lead. They led 33-24 at halftime with Jedi Broom, 25 points, 14 rebounds. Yeah, he hyperextended his arm there. I think he'll be just fine. Came back, of course, and Auburn, Florida, two SEC teams. I was SEC before SEC was cool as they advance, and we know the lines as well for the Final Four games with Florida favored by 2.5 over Auburn and Duke favored by 4.5 over Houston as we get ready for the Final Four. And maybe it was chalky. I certainly was chalk as well this postseason. So that worked out for me pretty good here. It feels like heading into the Final Four next Saturday, of course. And we'll also talk a little bit of women's action as I swept the board again there with the sides and totals. We had the two winners here yesterday with the picks covering the spread, and we gave out the totals later on with my sports money premiums. So I guess I said I won my only premium, but in college, as we sent out the women's picks, they're so hot as premiums, and we went under in both those games. And there's more women's action tonight. So I'm sure everyone's here for my picks in the women's game. That's probably all you're here for today. We'll preview the other sports as well. We do have some late afternoon action today, including Major League Baseball for late afternoon games and more college basketball. The college basketball crown gets underway. We've teased it a little bit. If you don't know what the crown is, there's a tournament here starting in Las Vegas today at 3 Eastern and noon Pacific with 4 games today. The 16-team tournament, so they'll battle here for the next few days in Las Vegas, battling it out for $500,000 in prize money. Another host of a very popular YouTube channel said they can't do that. That's illegal. So I guess they'll find out eventually that it is an illegal tournament, and no, it's a legal tournament. You just can't go spouting off that you think you know when you don't know. So there is that tournament here in Las Vegas getting underway, and there's other action here this weekend too. The NIT also. With the national semifinals tomorrow in Indianapolis. But we'll have those matchups here today from the college basketball crown. 4 games today, 4 games tomorrow, and they'll play it down in a bracket-style tournament. We also know in the women's action here, TCU will play Texas here today, as well as Connecticut and USC. We say hello to folks in the chat joining us here today. We do have a busy show despite the winding down of the tournament. We have, like I said, Major League Baseball. We have NHL, NBA here as well today. Hello, chat. Thank you for joining me here. Too. Daddy Beats was here first. Joe W. as well. How about Blue? La-do-dee-da-do-die. Abel is here. Perky is here today as well. He's ready to go for some baseball. O-Caps is here today. Abel loving his West Coast parlay action. Hello. Hey everyone, like this video, subscribe to our channel Sports Money here on YouTube, the fastest growing sports betting content channel on YouTube. Thank you, Thomas, for being here. He helps me out with our consensus parlay, among other things. We tried to get it home yesterday, but I don't think we quite got there. We had Michigan State, of course, as one of our consensus plays here yesterday, but they weren't able to quite get it done. Auburn got the money by 1 point in the game there against Michigan State. And we had, I think we had some other L's as well yesterday, including Major League Baseball, Phillies, and that was an L. And then the game that, we ended up going against each other once again, and I got the best of it once again, as I said go under in Toronto, and you guys said go over in Toronto, and I was stuck. I said, oh no, what happened there? But it did go under in that Baltimore-Toronto game after all the games were going over there. Actually, baseball, we did have a very nice day yesterday here on the Sports Money Network and the premiums. I did have Philadelphia and Washington game to go under yesterday. That was a good day, a fun day of Major League Baseball. Yeah, the Yankees were at it again with those torpedo bats. Aaron Judge, 2-run. Aaron Judge doesn't use the torpedo bat. He's too good. But the Yankees over the Brewers, Jazz Chisholm, he uses the torpedo bat, and he went long yesterday. What do you guys think of the torpedo bats? Is it all the rage, or is it just a fluke, and they'll put them back away after they start flaring those balls off the end of the bat? Yesterday, we had the Baltimore Orioles here as our premium pick. That was a winner over the Blue Jays. Chris Bassett, 6 innings, 1 run allowed there for Toronto, but it was the Orioles that was able to get that one. Also, we did have Miami over Pittsburgh yesterday as a winner here. We also have the under on the show in that one between the Marlins and the Bucks. The game-winning run, the wild pitch, 9th inning, Marlins. First time we've seen this, 3 walk-off wins in a row, or first time in, what did they say, 100 years or something like that a team has done that. The Miami Marlins are clutch so far this season. San Francisco and Cincinnati, we had the premium pick winner on the over there in that game with the Reds and the Giants. Matty Chapman had the 2-run home run in that one. We have the Tampa Bay Rays to cover that run line against Colorado yesterday here on the show as the Rays get it done over the Rockies. Brandon Lowe, 2-run home run for the Rays. We also had the under in that Angels-White Sox game that was delayed by rain there for quite a while, but they did resume. And 3-2 final there in that one yesterday between the Angels and the White Sox. We did have the under there. Also, we had the Cardinals here on the show over Minnesota, and we had the over as our premium pick winner, Pedro Paez, a 3-run home run in that one. Also, we had Boston, Texas game to go under as our winner here on the show yesterday. Wyatt Langford or Dallas Garcia had home runs for Texas in that one as Red Sox lost to Texas. Also, swept it with Arizona. You guys had a consensus winner here in the chat yesterday over the Chicago Cubs. Dansby Swanson and Suzuki home runs in that one. Diamondbacks 8 runs in the 8th inning to erase that 6-2 lead. They win 10-6. I had the over on the show yesterday, so you and I teamed up for a I don't know, 2-teamer there, I guess. Also, Seattle with the win over the Athletics there, as I had the winner here on the show with the Seattle Mariners. Julio Rodriguez 2-run home run there for the M's. And late night Padres were released late afternoon. Padres 4-0. Yes, I said it. Padres best start since basically 40 years for the Padres, and they're good. Believe me, I'm watching every game intently. It's not a fluke. This team, they're not the Dodgers. But right now, they're at least keeping pace with the Dodgers are 5-0. The Padres are 4-0. And, well, I guess if they win all the games, it's going to be decided by who wins the most games between the Dodgers and the Padres. Padres are that good. And anything can happen with this team. They don't have the depth of the Dodgers, but right now it's looking good. Today might be tougher, but we did have the under there with the Braves and the Padres yesterday as our winner here on the show. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Let's say hello to a few more folks here today, like Irish King joining us here today. Jermaine is here. Ziggy is here as well. NYC Bar is ready to go on a Monday.
Final.
Thank you guys for being here. Here's my sports money in the chat. Hey, hopefully you guys got to join us here yesterday for a little stream. We ran a little stream there for the second game and had some other winners too. And you know what? It was all about Jeff M, man. How about it? He's brought us home 2 futures winners this week. All you got to do is be a member and go to the posts tab and see that Jeff M gave us winners here for the futures picks this week, not only in the PGA event with Minwoo Lee 35-1, but he also hit the 11-2 shot yesterday with Larson in the NASCAR race. Man, Jeff had a weekend yesterday on the show. We had a fun on the show with his sweating it out there at the end of those events. Billy Eagle Flyer, hello. Robert McCormick, hello as well. Nice to have you here today. And that might be it a little bit from the chat here right now. So we'll get ready to get going here on the show. But let me do a little self-promotion here. You can get plays for days from me when you subscribe over at winnable.com to my sports money premium selections. I just told you about a bunch of winners we had in Major League Baseball. I definitely had a good day in Major League Baseball with those premiums. We did have, I think, a loser or two. Maybe it was one loser in the premiums yesterday. I'm trying to remember what it was actually, but I just read you off those winners. Yankees, Orioles game, Miami, we had that walk-off. What was the loser here? Kansas City, I think, was no. Oh, I know what it was. It was the Rangers on the run line with Jake DeGrom. But pretty good day over there with the sports money premiums. And we also had some winners with the picks in the NBA and NHL. Not as prevalent. In fact, I don't know if I brought one home in the NBA at all yesterday. They're a little rough around the edges there. We did have a winner with Atlanta and Milwaukee over, but they were few and far between for me in the NBA. NHL yesterday, also a little bit of a struggle for me, but we did have a winner here on the show with Utah on the puck line. Also, we had the Islanders and Carolina game to go over late night last night, LA Kings. We had a winner on the show on the puck line. They beat San Jose 8-1 yesterday. All right. And you can get those plays over at winnable.com. We'll have late afternoon action. We'll have a nice card today, I'm pretty sure, with Good sports here. You guys are pretty fired up about it, at least to get started kind of early on a Monday with some of our action here. All right, and let's see here. Let's bring it back and get ready. Going on the show. Might as well get to these previews today with our afternoon action. But you can click the QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. Go over to winnable.com and appreciate all the subscribers. Join me. This is how you support me here on the channel by subscribing to my premium picks. We are user supported here, viewer supported, and that's how we do our coverage. Keeps me coming back every day here on the show and talking sports and sports betting with you. So appreciate it. Use the promo code STEAM, which we just had some steam. Let's pass it along to you right now in a game that just moved in the NBA between the Chicago Bulls today and the Oklahoma City Thunder. We're seeing some steam here this morning among other games, but one that just came in is it with the game the Chicago Bulls and Oklahoma City Thunder. Steam coming in just moments ago on this one on the under. It was 239.5, and we're seeing this one down to 238, it looks like right now, with Chicago and Oklahoma City. Say hello to a few more folks and get the show started for today. We'll be here a while with lots of good previews, hopefully, and you guys can help me get along as well. And there's Thomas. He's talking Cleveland tonight. It's Thomas and I. Cleveland's coming to town, and his Guardians taking on my Padres tonight. Should be a fun series. And I don't, Padres dominated the Braves with their starters, but they're going with the little bit of a short-term solution tonight when they're the Padres rotation a little bit thin on the end here. I think Cleveland will have a little bit of advantage maybe in the starting pitching today. We'll talk about it. And let's get ready. Oh, James Parm, hello. Nice to have you. Terrell talking about it with those number one seeds. Over across the street, there's, like I said, a couple of contests. Want to shout out our leaders in our bracket here. Tom Moore, Two Tones, having a great tournament. He is in the 99.7 percentile on the ESPN brackets. That's pretty strong. Algus LB also doing a good job in second place. Cam Sinnett, third place. Barry Roselle was in fourth. I am in fifth. Keith, each and every stride, is in sixth place. Kong's Clips in seventh. William Cox in eighth. Trisha in ninth. Bobby Mack in 10th. So good job, you guys, there with your bracket picks. And across the street there in those contests, I do have I believe, looking at the confidence pool, I believe I have clinched the confidence pool. It shows that I'm in fifth place. I don't think they've done all the points there a little bit, but I believe I have clinched first place and the first place prize in the confidence pool. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but I've already thrown my sheet away. I think I've got the win there in the confidence pool contest across the street. I've got all four teams left, and there are a couple other people that do, but I have the most points out of those, even though I don't think they've quite updated yet, but I'm pretty pleased with myself to win that contest over there. I believe it's probably about a $600 prize there. The other brackets, I don't think I was able to do very well with the big brackets, just like our contest here. I'm in fifth or sixth or whatever, so still had a pretty good tournament. Sticking with those number one seeds, that's kind of what I did, and that helped me to the victory in that contest. So, okay, let me see who else here. Abel's ready to go with his other play. Thank you. Hello to Virginia. Hello, Virginia. And Abel has his West Coast parlay here. Dodgers money line with Lakers and Rockets over tonight at 224. That's gone down, huh? All right, let's go with our previews here a little bit. Ziggy's here today as well, asking questions, taking names. So, all right, let's roll with the coverage here of our previews today. And think we covered some of the games there from yesterday. I didn't really have a great day in those other sports, but maybe baseball. Maybe it is baseball season. It is, you know it. All right. We get everything into place here and get started with our show, everybody. Here we go. And we're going to go right to the major leagues. I think that's the best place to start today with our games here, don't you think, you guys? With a little bit of afternoon action, we're in full swing now after the opening weekend of action. What were your takeaways from Major League Baseball? Obviously, the Yankees and their bats are a big story, and the Dodgers with their 5-0 start. Let's get rolling with the show today. All right. Here we go with the Twins taking on the White Sox here today. And look, we're getting one more group of starters here for the most part before we get into some of the starters that will have their, when we go around to the second time around the rotation, if you know what I mean, as we get started here with the Twins and the Cowboy, Chris Paddock on the mound here today, taking on the White Sox and Perez. The Twins are 0-3 so far, looking for a win. They're playing the White Sox. You got to start to win these games. The total is 8. Apparently, the total is 81.5 right here. So go under. Let me fix that real quick. 8.5, probably, right? It's down, as a matter of fact, here this morning already. 7.5 over 15. So yeah, it does look like a game where definitely a little bit of move to the under here in this one. Man, it was that 8. It should have been a little bit of 8.5, I guess, when I typed it in last night. But we're already seeing some big pressure to the under in this one with Chris Paddock on the mound here. Going up against Perez. The White Sox are 1-2 after that opening series, and the White Sox did a great job in the pitching. Maybe it was more so the Angels and their bats, but they did hold the Angels in that series too. I believe just 1.7 runs there in the 5 runs, right, in the series there yesterday. So maybe it'll be a pitcher's duel. Maybe it'll just be a lack of offense is what we're kind of seeing. It feels like with these two teams here. Let's look at these guys a little bit. I've got these two lineups right now as the bottom 2 lineups in the major leagues. Nothing I don't think we can do about it, but maybe I take that back. I've actually moved the Twins up a notch from where they were this weekend. I think I've moved the Twins up to 28th. I moved them up one spot. So not much to say with these two offenses. I've got them kind of neutral here today, but with Chris Paddock and Martin Perez here today, maybe it will be a low-scoring game between these two teams. What do you guys have here in this one between Minnesota and Chicago here today? Let's go to the chat, see if there's any picks in this matchup. So get ready here on the show. All right. Let's see what we got. Dodgers don't need any special bats. Well, you know what, Abel, you know that everybody in the league is going to be rolling with these things if they are as good as they look here. Terrell says, how long do you think they'll go with them? And the concept looks pretty good, right? They look pretty good. Philly Eagle Flyer says we're getting down to the last group of pitchers here a little bit. Ziggy says they should blow them out here today, huh? And let's see who else is here. Philly Eagle Flyer here with a little bit. Oh, Perky also here. Philly Eagle Flyer says maybe be tied after the second inning. Perky says Twins run line, big play, a lot of runs. They'll break loose today against one another in this one. They've got to, right after that first series is what he says. Robert says, give me the under, though, here in the first 5 in this one. Blues on the White Sox here. Redbeard likes that first 5 action. Tamari is here today. Hello, Tamari. Thank you for your support of me here on the Sports Money Network. Really do appreciate you here. Dylan Forrest joining us today. He's got Correa to get some damage done here a little bit. Says go over with 1.5 bases here. Correa, pretty neutral matchup here for some of these guys. Twins lineup. You can have Wallner, Correa, Buxton, I would imagine, Larnach, Jeffers, and Ty France. White Sox, Matone, Robert, Benintendi, Vaughn, Tice as well, Vargas, Baldwin, among others in that lineup. Terrell, Twins run line. Sox needed to get it together here a little bit. And let's see what else. Yeah. Fernandez, some of these players just can't hit here, it feels like, huh? Here is NYC Bar Twins and the under. And Thomas likes Minnesota here today in this one. All right. I think I'll make the call here. I've got a high roller pick, I think, over at Tony's on this one. So let's see what I'm going to do here. Give you guys another chance. But hey, we're on the we're ready to go here in the major leagues. So let's see what you got. All right. Man, this one's a little bit tight here, but look, I'm not going to be trusting anybody here at $1.07. The White Sox showed a little bit of life. Obviously, the Twins, big problems here right now with their start to the season. So I don't know. Why wouldn't it be maybe kind of a one-run game? It feels like, and if you get a price like this on the White Sox at plus 1.5 at pick'em money, I got to take the White Sox on the run line here to stay in here. Look, if you really are a very, very weak team like the White Sox, eventually it'll catch up to them right now. But you're still going to be putting your best foot forward here a little bit. As bad as the White Sox are going to be, the Twins obviously have struggled as well. So why couldn't this be a one-run game, especially if we've seen this total dropping so dramatically here today in this one? Give me the Sox on the run line today. All right, and let's see what else we've got here. Let's keep it moving right now on the show with the Royals are taking on the Brewers here in this one. If you got Bubic going up against Rodriguez in this one between Royals and the Brewers. Another day game here today at American Family Field in Milwaukee. The left-hander Bubic here for Kansas City. Both teams come in with subpar records right now. Kansas City could only manage 1-2 in that opening series, and the Brewers got swept, obviously, in that series opener. So they start 0-3 right now coming into this one. And we'll get your plays here in the series with little bit of interleague action for these two. The first week of the season, Kansas City going up here. Not you know what I mean. Here, let me catch up with my numbers here a little bit. There we go. All right. For the Royals here in this lineup today against the Brewers. Look, I've got the Brewers right now probably in my top 5 lineups, I'd say, at this point. The Brewers, I think this offense is pretty decent, despite me making fun of Jackson Churio all weekend after starting off the season 0-5. He did pick up a few hits here over the last couple of days, but with Bryce Terang, Christian Yelich, Wilson Contreras, I'm rating this Brewers lineup a little bit higher maybe than most right now. for the Royals, I've probably got them mid-pack here right now with Witt in there. We'll mention Jonathan India. He was hit in the head by a pitch in the ninth inning on Sunday. I don't think he got a concussion in the end, is what they said. So we shall see. But India here has done a pretty decent job so far, for sure, in these last two games against Cleveland. Like I said, they were able only to get the one win over Cleveland over the weekend. But this Kansas City lineup with India in there, Bobby Witt, Pasquantino, Sally Massey, Hunter Renfroe in there, among others today. Let's see what you guys have in this matchup between the Royals and the Brewers here today. Go to the chat and see what we got. Ziggy's going over, I believe, in this one between the Royals and Brewers here today. And NYC Bar likes the Royals here on the money line. R. Thompson's here today. Thank you. And Zoe loves day games. We love day games here, even though I think, we're looking at kind of late afternoon here a little bit. These games are at 2:10 Eastern, 11:10 Pacific today. Blue likes the over. Fernando likes the over. Thomas is on Kansas City. Tamari says you got injuries right now in this lineup. I'm rating this lineup pretty high that they'll be putting out there today, actually. Let's see here. Robert likes the over as well. And, starting rotation. Yeah, okay, gotcha, tomorrow. Understood, yes. Okay, gotcha there. And we'll see with Elvin Rodriguez here so far. See how Elvin Rodriguez fares in his start. And Philly Eagle Flyer says they'll take it to Elvin. Terrell's got this one for a bunch of runs, it sounds like today. He says 10 or more here. That's an over pick for sure. It feels like there. I kind of want to side with it here, this one today. All right, let's see here. I think I gotta make my call here in this one. And hey, I'm gonna agree with you guys. Let's go over in this one between Kansas City and Milwaukee. I'll take it. Looks like we're having a little bit of over support in there. Jermaine's on the Kansas City run line today. Thank you guys. All right. All right, let's keep on moving. Hold everything here. We've got a consensus play with the Kansas City Royals. You guys like Kansas City. Well, that gives us a little two-teamer there, kind of, huh? Sharon also on Kansas City. Nice to see Sharon today. So, how about it? Kansas City and over is kind of what it shakes out to be here a little bit. Look what Zoe says here, too. Says over, team total over looks good. All right. Let's have a great start to the baseball season, it feels like, here in this one. For me with Chris Bubic, look, he's an opener pretty much. I mean, he was a reliever in 24 games last year with an ERA of 2.67 and a whip of just over 1. He struck out 32% of the hitters last year. So with Rodriguez here, this will be kind of an opener for Milwaukee as well. I believe you'll see some Brian Hudson in there today is probably the primary coming in for Milwaukee in this one. He appeared in 43 games last season with a 1.73 ERA. The left-hander will come in as well. So Milwaukee bullpen got rocked over the weekend, that's for sure. They gave up 4 home runs, 6 walks in 9 innings, and it turned into a bullpen game here for the most part as well. So, Kansas City did have a lot of success on the road in division play last year. All right. Oh, Thomas says we've got 2 consensus plays in this one. You guys also are going on the over like I did. Wow. Oh my God. Okay, we're going to roll today. Next up, we've got
Steam play.
the Red Sox taking on the Orioles here today with the Red Sox on the road, an underdog against Povich. You got a couple left-handers here with Newcomb and Povich. Here in this one, Sean Newcomb starts here for the Red Sox. He appeared 7 games last year with an ERA of 6.3 and a pretty high whip. So Cade Povich here for Baltimore made 16 starts last season, a 5.2 ERA here last season. Red Sox didn't look that good offensively in that series against the Rangers. They hit just 208 overall coming in. So Baltimore, meanwhile, of course, they had a pretty busy weekend with the bats north of the border. They hit 273. They had 10 home runs in those games. Bullpens looked pretty good early on for both teams coming into this one. So let's take a look at what you might have here with the Red Sox and the Orioles today and see what you got here in this one. Go to the chat and let's see. Redbeard here might be over in this one, might be over in the last one. Kiadra, hello, nice to have you. Jermaine likes, I believe, the over here in this one. Blues down on the Sox so far. Thomas is on Baltimore here. I think you look at these 2 lineups coming in right now. Look, I mean, I want to move these 2 lineups higher. I still have some questions. I know people are obviously going to be on a little bit here. There's blue on the Orioles. Kiadra says Baltimore team total over. Nasty Nate has the Red Sox to smash here in this one. Sharon says go with Baltimore. R. Tomps is on the Red Sox. We're not going to have a consensus play, it looks like here for sure, but Terrell says go over Baltimore's team total here, and we'll see what lineup that the Orioles are able to put out here today. I believe, let's see if Cowser is able to make the lineup. You'll have Adley, obviously, O'Hearn, O'Neill, Mullins, Mountcastle as well for the Red Sox. Duran, Devers. Good matchup here for Breggs, I think. I also think it'll be a good matchup here for Christian Campbell. We saw Campbell with that pretty good game against Texas in the 3rd game of the series. And Christian Campbell, word is that Christian Campbell here, after earning this opening day roster spot, the youngster here looks like he's going to get a contract extension here. So he is able to hit his first major league home run in the game on Saturday, as I said, with a pretty good game. And it looks like Christian Campbell is going to be a member of these Boston Red Sox. Good on him. Ziggy's going over here in this one. Jermaine going over here, it looks like. Jermaine talking about how they played in Mexico, then went to Texas. Now here, Redbeard says he likes Baltimore here, maybe as a favorite in this one. And Irish King is on the over. And Philly Eagle Flyer said with the weather today blowing straight out to center field here, 13, 14 miles an hour to start, it'll maybe trickle down. There's actually a strong chance of some rain by the end of this game. Probably not enough to interfere too much in the game today, but definitely expecting some rain near the end of the game. Maybe a delay, but should clear rather quickly is what they're saying for this one between Boston and Baltimore today. So
Final.
A couple left-handers in here. Let's see what you guys have in this one. Man, $1.45 here for Baltimore. And all right, I'll make my call here in this one between Boston and Baltimore today. And I'm going to try an over as well here with Boston and Baltimore. Let's go over those 9.5 runs. Let's see what the current line is, you guys. $1.40, 9.5, pretty much everywhere. So give me the over here in this one. All right, Luis is on the O's. Bobby Mack is on the over. Let's go to the next one. Dylan, good to have Dylan here today with props here for us. He does like Briggs here, and like I said, for me in this one, I think my favorite bats would be right here on this Boston side a little bit with Bregman, with Campbell. I'd even look here to Colton Wong a little bit, maybe even the bottom of the lineup. Colton Wong, Trevor Story there, and also Rafaela here as well. So, all right. Next up, the Rockies will take on the Phillies in the, I believe, the last of the late afternoon games at 3:05 Eastern and 12:05 Pacific, with Herman Marquez on the mound here for Colorado. They start off with a 1-2 record. Philadelphia, meanwhile, 2-1 so far. And they'll have Christopher Sanchez here on the mound today. Sanchez has been working on adding a new pitch this season, trying to develop his cutter here a little bit. The widely reported steam did come in on Philadelphia. They're about 245 here at some sharp shops, up to 260 or so at some of the
Final
square books. So Philly has taken the big action here so far. The total 8.5, under at minus 115 or so today here with Colorado going up against Philadelphia. For the Rockies here, I've got them a bottom 5 lineup, probably 25th right now in my rankings here early on with this lineup. Tough matchup for a guy like Ryan McMahon here going up against Christopher Sanchez. Also probably a little bit of a tough one for Nick Martini, despite his 3-for-4 performance there yesterday. Pretty good game for Nick. For the Phillies here, I've got them certainly a top 10 lineup. Probably I have them ranked 7th here right now offensively coming in. You probably have them a little bit higher, but let's see again for me long term how this lineup stays healthy and together. Here with Schwartz, with Baum, with Harper, with Castellanos. We saw Bryson Stott with a home run there on Saturday night, but did get the 0-for-4 yesterday here. So let's see what you have in this one. Another one, with it being in Philadelphia, also some weather to consider. Wind blowing straight out to center field, about 13 to 15 miles an hour here today. We'll see what you guys have in this matchup here between Colorado and Philadelphia. Let's go to the chat in this matchup. And Orioles come in with a 2-2 record. They did go over in 3 of their first 4 games. 3 of those 4 games. And for the Red Sox here, like I said, 1-3 right now. And they did go under in all 4 of those games on the road in Texas. The Red Sox averaged just 2.8 runs in those 4 games. Did a good job pitching, allowing just 3.3 runs in the 4 games. Orioles, meanwhile, come in averaging 6 runs a game in their first 4 games right now, and they allowed 4.5 runs per game in those 4 games. Let's go to the chat here and see what we have in this one between the Rockies and the Phillies today. It's great to have some daytime baseball. Here we go. The Phillies get back to scoring, says Jermaine. Kiadra likes the team total over. Robert likes the over in this one. We're getting to the end of the rotations. I think we're seeing some overs from the gang here a little bit. Ziggy likes the over in this one. Thomas is on Philadelphia here. And Blue likes Phillies on the run line today. Tamari's talking that weather. as well here. That's also going to be a factor for you guys, it looks like. Philly Eagle Flyer says Phillies and Schwarber to hit a homer. Luis is on the run line. Oh, baseball, I love it. Philly Eagle Fly. Oh, Thomas has seen enough. This is a consensus play from you guys in this one on the Phillies today, taking that steam and laying it big time. You guys are on it here with the Phillies at minus 250 or so here today. That's all right. Hey, we've got to use all the tools here when we're talking Major League Baseball. Ziggy likes the Rockies on the run line and the over, so it's not all about the Phillies, but Perk likes the run line for the Phillies. And let's see here. Also, Perky on Rockies team total over. Zoe says Phillies to lead after 3. Art Thompson takes the Rockies here a little bit on the run line. And that might be it from you guys. So, oh man, you guys are on the Phillies here. That's a big price. So I'm going to just go to the total here in this one between the Phillies and the Rockies. And I'm actually going to be a little bit contrarian here. I'm going to take the under in this one. Not a consensus play from you guys, I don't think. And even though it looks like mostly overs in there, I'm gonna try the under here today with the Rockies and the Phillies, especially now. Let me look at the line here. It is 8.5 under minus 115. So yeah, I'm gonna take the under here in this one. All right, the Dylan Force got a tow bar here on a little bit of prop action today. For Zeke so far, he has had that big first game, obviously 2 for 4 in the game there. Let's see, 2 for 4 yesterday, 1 for 4. So, okay, appreciate it, gang. In that Tampa Bay series, obviously. Let's see, how did it go in that one? Phillies 2-1, 2-1 to the over. Rockies went under in 2 of those games against the Rays, averaged just 2.7 runs per game. Phillies averaged 6 runs per game in that series there against in that opening series there against the Nationals. Okay, let's see what else we got here. And yeah. Okay, Blue Rockies team total over here. All right, let's go next here to the Mets taking on. Well, I mean, we know who's going to win this one. The Miami Marlins are going to win in a walk-off. Incredible. Miami Marlins, the most clutch team in Major League history, or at least so far, with these 3 walk-off victories. Wow, the Marlins getting it done in thrilling fashion here so far this season. Great start to the season. The Marlins are 3-1 here. Right now, the Mets are 1-2. They went under in all 3 games so far this season. Did the New York Mets. You got Peterson here coming in, going up against Quantrill here. So Peterson, the left-hander, going for the Mets tonight, and Quantrill found his way. Quantrill found his way here to Miami. So let's take a look at this one here with these 2 today and see what you have with the Mets taking on Miami at the Lone Depot Park. And let me peek at these lineups here as well. See how we're looking in this matchup. Uh-oh. Here we go. Oh, gosh, what have I done here? Okay, there we go. All right, so for Miami here right now, I've got them at this point. I've got them rated a little higher than most for sure. I'm going to move Miami kind of up towards middle, maybe even near the top 10 with the way this lineup is going so far as they go up here against David Peterson of the Mets. For the Mets lineup, I still have big questions. I have them inside the top 20. I'm not ready to go with them just yet. Should be a good matchup, though, for Pete Alonso here over Cal Quantrill. Also, Vientos could have a nice matchup in this one against Quantrill here today. If you look at these pitcher matchups, let me make sure I got this right as well. Oops. I want to make sure I get these lineups right. Okay, here we go. Let's go to the chat a little bit and see what you guys have in this one today with the Mets and the Marlins. How about my man Kyle Stowers? It's going to be tough for him against Peterson, I would think, for sure, because you're going to, a lot of times though, you'll have Stowers sit against left-handers like he did yesterday. He was able to come on and get a pinch hit walk, but going up against the left-hander, Stowers could end up sitting. But big weekend for my man, wasn't it? There after his clutch hit there over pit, he had one of the hits there. I thought it was a home run. That was funny. I was touting him up as hitting a home run because I can't see anymore because I'm old. It was just a shot down the right field line for that game-winning hit for my man Kyle Stowers. Let's go to the chat and see what you guys have here. A lot of comments coming in on this game. So let's just go to you guys here a little bit. Irish King, he likes the Mets money line. He's got Soto to hit a home run today. Here's Thomas on Miami. Tamari's on the under. And here is Mets team total under in this one. Ziggy likes the Mets on the run line. Dylan Forrest says you got to think that Lindor can bust out here a little bit today. Jermaine says lay it with the Mets. It's all over for Miami on this streak. Luis is on Miami. Kiadra's got a nerfy here. Robert's on the under. Irish King's on the over. And Zoe says this is going to be a little bit different than what we saw in that first series with the Mets coming to town. Here's Blue on the nerfy, I think. And Sports Money says got to keep rolling here a little bit with Miami. This is a lot of good momentum. And Dylan says, look, I mean, you got to be attacking these hitter props here right now. Sharon's on Miami as well. And right, how about some of these pitchers early on getting a 75 pitch limit or something like that? When you're through 7 innings and they pull you, they figure, hey, it's 7 innings. We don't care about 75 pitches. Redbeard says, let's see, Mets all day. Says, go away, Sports Money. Mets, you figure, got to turn it around. Terrell says this will be a good time for Soto here. R. Tomps is on the Marlins. And Sports Money also with concerns about this Mets lineup. And I think that's kind of the way that I'm, seeing it here as well. I have the Marlins lineup kind of well ahead of the Mets lineup at this point. So I want to see more, but like I said, I think for Alonso, Vientos, Luis Torrens also down towards the end of the lineup for Taylor. The splits favor, it feels like to me, against Cal Quantrill, but does the price make enough sense here in this one? We're in the night games now, 6:40 Eastern, 3:40 Pacific time here in this one with the Miami Marlins and New York Mets here in this one. Let's go to me. Let's go to me and make the pick here right now. And I'll just take the run line here with Miami plus 1.5 at minus 110. Give me this run line here with the fish tonight as my play here on the morning steam. All right. Next up, we've got the Rangers and an anticipated day start here for Kumar Rocker. Here for the Rangers today in this one, going up against the Reds here and Singer. So let's see in this matchup what you have here in this one. Get your plays ready for me. And take a look at some of these. Oops. Let me bring it up here real quick. Take a look at these lineups. All right, for the Rangers here, it's going to be a pretty tough matchup here, it feels like, against Singer. Now, for Brady Singer, we'll see what you guys think, but I've got certainly this Ranger lineup in the bottom 10 lineups right now. Got him ranked 22nd coming in, and could be a little bit of a tough matchup for the top of the lineup in Simeon. For Langford, tough matchup. Adolis Garcia, I think Berger could have a little bit of a tough situation. We'll see. Everyone's ready to see Rangers starting prospect here, Kumar Rocker, the former Vanderbilt great, earning a role in the starting rotation for sure. He was competing for a spot. It wasn't going to take much, it felt like, for him to get it. He didn't have a great spring, it felt like, until that final start when he had the 8 strikeouts and 4 2/3 innings. He looked really good and earned this starting spot. We did see, of course, Kumar Rocker late last season in 3 starts. They're mostly going 3 and 4 innings and a few of the appearances late last season. So it's not like we haven't seen Kumar Rocker out there, but he's obviously a highly touted prospect here. We get a good look at him today. Going up against Cincinnati. So let's see how you see it today with Rocker in there. One of the most anticipated games of the day because of his appearance, it feels like. Let's go to the chat, see what you have here in this one today with the Rangers and the Reds. Ziggy's going to start us off, and he's got the Reds to win this one at home. Thomas is on the Reds. Luis is on the Reds here as well. Philly Eagle Flyer says Reds game, best bet 1, tied after 2. R. Thompson, man, you guys are liking the Reds. Here's Robert on the under here. Jermaine says Kumar is going to get rocked today. Here's Blue on the under. You know, in those games we saw Rocker last year, 2 strikeouts in 4 innings against the A's, 5 strikeouts in 3 innings against Toronto in a loss, and major league debut he did have 7 strikeouts in 4 innings. We know what Kumar Rocker is all about. Sharon, first 5 under. Jermaine's on the over here and here. Philly Eagle Flyer going to sprinkle half unit on the Mets to tie the game in the second inning.
System play.
All right, here's a full game over for Redbeard here. And look at this. This is a consensus play. You guys not liking Kumar Rocker. Take the Reds, says the consensus here in this one. Kiadra, Reds run line. If you guys are going with the side, I'll move to the total here in this matchup. And I'm going to take the under here with Texas and Cincinnati in the bandbox today. Give me the under with Texas and Cincinnati. Look at that first series for both these teams. The Rangers did go 0-4 to the under in that Boston series. Now, that was down in Texas, obviously. There, but Cincinnati did go 2-1 to the over, averaged 3.3 runs in those first 3 games. They scored 10 runs in the 3 games, as did the Rangers. Rangers pitching was good. They allowed just 11 runs in those 4 games there, and going 3-1 in that opening series. So Texas off to a good start, but you guys like the Reds in this one. I'll take the under. All right, let's keep it moving right now. Fun day of Major League Baseball for sure here with the Pirates and Majinski going up against the Rays and Rasmussen in the beautiful outdoors here. Steinbrenner Field in Tampa. You guys were kind of making fun last night. I keep trying to talk up this situation a little bit. I think the outdoor 10,000 seat stadium will be a little bit of a factor for the Rays. I think it'll help them a little bit. I love the fact that they're playing here outdoor. And look, nobody wants this situation for them. It does suck kind of, but got to deal with the hand that's put in front of you. And baseball's already screwed up so many things. It feels like they couldn't get this right either. But so far, the Rays 2-1. So far this season, the Bucks had a little bit of a rough time. We know going 1-3 in the opening weekend here. Both teams averaging about 3.5 runs offensively. So far, the Rays got good pitching in that first series here, but still $1. In fact, $1.75. I think it's even higher than this right now. We're seeing $1.90 or $2 here some spots, so it's definitely gone up. Let's call it $1.95, but we're definitely seeing this one kind of go up here for the Rays. The widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game, but we're seeing mostly 8 flat right now here. Oh, let me update something over here a little bit. All right, pardon me there. All right, so in this one between the Pirates and the let's see what you guys have in this matchup with Majinski here going up against Rasmussen. Majinski, pretty much an opener here. He appeared in 40 games last season, ERA of 3.38 for the Bucks last season, 1.18 whip for Rasmussen here. He had an ERA of 2.83 and a whip of 1.08 last season. The Pirates hit just 184 in that season opening series. The Rays, meanwhile, were off to a pretty good start here. So far, and the bullpen has been good as well for the Rays. Pittsburgh's bullpen, not so much. They did allow 10 runs in that first series. So let's see what you have here with Pittsburgh taking on Tampa Bay today. For me, I would think, let me look at these lineups and see how we're going. I've got Pittsburgh right now ranked 23rd offensively in my rankings, but I've got the Rays still, despite a pretty good weekend, bottom 4 here offensively. Could be a tough matchup against Majinski, but again, you're not going to see much depth here from him, not going very deep here, despite being the 5th starter. I wouldn't imagine Jared Jones starts on the injured list for Pittsburgh. That's kind of opened it up here, it feels like, for Majinski. So we'll see how long he can hold them off here today, but I wouldn't expect too deep of a run. Rasmussen will get more of a deeper run than that. Tough matchup maybe for Adam Frazier, for Brian Reynolds at the top of the lineup, for O'Neal Cruz as well, for Andy Rodriguez as well. Let's go to the chat, see what you guys think here in this one. Wind blowing 10 miles an hour out to center field. We get ready here in Tampa today. And we've got Trevor Davis is here today. He likes Tampa Bay on the money line here in this one. Pretty big money line for sure at $1.80. Here's Blue on the under. Ziggy's on the over. Are we going to get the same Tampa Bay? I mean, look at this. They're a $2 favorite today already against the Bucks. Are we just putting the Bucks out to pasture already and saying the Rays are going to be our typical Rays? Here's Thomas on the Pirates. Luis is on the over. Redbeard says Rays run line to crush them here today. And Jermaine says Pittsburgh's bullpen's looking bad. Jermaine says $1.95. Give me Pittsburgh. You're a little bit too high. Robert on the over. Tamari says first 5 under here. And think that might be it from you guys in this matchup today between Pittsburgh and Tampa Bay. I'll peek at the market action here, but I also think, in fact, I'm going to do it. I am going to take Tampa Bay on this one. I think the line is a bit too high, but I like the matchup for Tampa Bay, and it's going to be my free play. I don't know if I can go premium here, but give me the Rays on the run line today against the Pirates in this one. I got to roll with the Rays, gang. Zoe says Tampa wins the first of 4 runs. Dougie Wise got his play of the day stopping by today. It's on the Celtics first half. Thank you. All right. Next up is the Nationals taking on the Blue Jays here. In this one with you got Soroka going for Washington here. Bowden Francis for Toronto here in this one. For Toronto here to start this season, they did go 2-2. They went 3-1 to the over. They're allowing 6 runs a game so far. Not great, but same thing for the Nationals. They got rocked by the Phillies. They're 1-2 to start the season, 2-1 to the over. They allowed 19 runs in the first 3 games of the season coming in. So both teams got rocked pretty good. The offenses weren't bad for these two. Both teams averaging about 4.5 runs through the first series of the season in this one. So let's see what you have, though, today. Nationals taking on the Blue Jays here in Toronto today. And we'll see with these lineups what we have going. Get your opinion maybe on this lineup. So far, I've got the Blue Jays. I've got them as my number 20 lineup here, but a pretty good matchup, I would think, against Soroka, top to bottom for Toronto here. For the Nationals, no, I don't think it's a good matchup at all going up against Bowden Francis today. This one looks to be one-sided to me statistically. It's just a matter of can you stomach $1.65 with this Toronto team right now. Let's see what you have. In this one for Soroka, 9 starts last season, a 4.74 ERA, 1.38 WHIP. Coming in for Bowden Francis, 27 games last season, a 3.3 ERA and a WHIP sub-1, 0.93 so far, but it's been bad bullpenning, if you know what I mean, between these two teams. The National bullpen allowed 17 runs and 4 home runs and 10 2/3 innings in that first series. Meanwhile, for the Blue Jays, they'd allowed 13 runs in 16 innings by the bullpen to start the season. So both teams hitting pretty well, it feels like, to start the year, but the pitching, the bullpen, not so much. Let's go to the chat and see what you have here when Soroka takes on Francis today. My name is not Francis. And in the chat, we've got Thomas is on Toronto here in this one. Soroka's still got a job, Jermaine said here. Kiadra likes Washington's team total over. Here's Ziggy with Blue Jays money line. Love how Ziggy hangs with us here today with baseball season. Luis is on the over. Tamari says Toronto here. Here's Joe T. He's got his plays. Check him out. You know he's the king of the over. You're only going to see overs here. And he's got the Royals and the Brewers game to go over. How about it? I went with the over, Jover. So we're looking pretty good. We're right on together with that one. Also, let's see what else. Mets and Marlins game. Joe said go over there. We saw the steam come in on the over in that game between the Mets and the Marlins, and he also likes the Braves and the Dodgers over. Here we'll talk about all of our games today, but let me mark that down with Joe. And then also Cubs and the A's game to go over tonight as well. Thank you, Joe, for your overs today. Redbeard is on the Nationals plus a 1.5. Robert's on the under here. Irish King, Tampa Bay, first 3, first 5. Dylan Forrest has some props here with Bowden Francis over in his case. Santander to hit today. And Irish King also says take the Dodgers and Ohtani to homer. All right, well, we're here on the Nationals and the Blue Jays today in this one. So I got to make the call here today. And I've got the under here in this one with Washington and Toronto. All right. Next up, the Angels taking on the Cardinals here in this one with Anderson going up against Mikolas. Here with this matchup, let's take a look here for Tyler Anderson coming in against this. I've got right now the Angels as the next to worst offense in the league, but could be an okay matchup for some of these guys against Mikolas. Could be an okay matchup for Taylor Ward here at the top of the lineup for Trout. Trout could have a good matchup here for sure. So far for Trout this season, just one hit so far. Yesterday picked up his first hit of the season, so a little bit of a slow start here for Trout to get going. And for the Cardinals here, I'm going to rank this lineup probably in the middle of the pack here at this point. Maybe number 15, number 16 is where I have them currently coming in. You guys are already chiming in the chat, so we'll go to you guys and see what you have here. For Tyler Anderson, 31 starts last season, a 3.81 earned run average, 1.29 whip coming in. Miles Mikolas for the Cardinals, 32 starts last year, an ERA of 5.35 and a 1.28 whip. The Angels against the White Sox could manage just 5 runs, and they hit 202. So long way to go right now. Meanwhile, the Cardinals pounded Minnesota pitching. Great hitting in that opening week. Batted 306 in the 3-game series. Angels bullpen was not great. They gave up 5 runs and 7 innings of work against the White Sox. The starting pitching did well in that series. Cardinals, meanwhile, allowed just 1 run in 11 innings out of the bullpen in that first series. A really good start for this Cardinals bullpen to start the season. So let's see what you have here. It's obviously a close game on paper at just $1.30. A lot of respect for the Angels coming in. Maybe it's disrespect for the Cardinals. We did get in some uncardinal-like season last year, but still, right now, this game is sitting at just let me bump it up here a little bit. There's definitely been a bit of a move. Let's call the Cardinals at least $1.50, if not $1.55 now. So pretty strong move here, and the total 8 over 20. Let me fix that and bring it back up. Go to your plays here in the chat between the Angels and the Cards today. We'll get our first look. This Cardinals team at 3-0 here right now. Angels still 2-1. They were able to get those wins over the White Sox, but come on, they're still the Angels, aren't they? They averaged just 1.7 runs in those games. Here we go with Philly Flyer says this game will be tied after 2 innings. Irish King says St. Louis first 5, first 7. Blue Cardinals run line here to rock today. Thomas is on the Cardinals here. And Jermaine says, might have to go with the Angels because of Mikolas on the mound. Kiadra might be on the Angels here. Luis is on the Cardinals. Redbeard about to kick Trout to the curb here. Blues on the Angels, so back and forth action here. Ziggy's on the over here, so definitely have some people on the Angels, it looks like. Oh, but Cardinals are a consensus play here. Okay. All right, I didn't catch that. All right, Cardinals, consensus number 5 today. Look, we definitely had a pretty big move here on the Cardinals, so Sharon's on a Nerfy here, and first 5 under. Blues got a Yerfie, but Keadra's got a Nerfie. We'll start to kick in our Nerfie and Yerfie coverage, I think, once we get kind of rolling with the start of the season, if you know what I mean. And let's see here. Flea Mathis here today. Robert's on the over in this one. Look, you guys got a consensus play here on the Cardinals. So kind of let me look at this. I think I want to maybe go over to the total here then. If you guys are gonna I like the Cardinals too much, man. I'm going to agree with Team Steam here. Just give me the Cardinals on the money line. I agree. And this price has maybe gone up. I don't want to say there's no value left on a dollar move from $1.30 to $1.55. That's pretty obvious. But with a pretty significant move, let me just take the Cardinals with you guys. I'll take them on the money line, though. All right, give me the Cards, even at this increased price. The Giants are taking on the Astros. Get a series here going, interleague series between San Francisco and Houston. You got Ronel Blanco. Oh, I've spelled Blanco wrong. This Mexican don't know how to spell. That's me. Blanco here looks like $1.25 here today. 8 over 15. Let me change that total since I got a typo in that too. Man, what was wrong with me last night? Okay, here we go. Blanco for Houston here, going up against Hicks and the Giants. For Jordan Hicks here, 29 appearances last season, a 4.1 ERA and a 1.45 whip for Hicks. For Ronel Blanco, 30 games, a 2.8 ERA, 1.09 whip. Both teams had some issues offensively, it felt like, to start the season. The Giants, a 214 batting average so far, but the Astros just batting $1.76 so far this season. But both teams look good out of the bullpen to start the season coming in, and that kind of led to some good numbers, especially for Houston. They're 2-1. They went under in all 3 games to start the season. They could only manage 6 runs total in the series, but they allowed just 5 runs in those first games for the Astros. For the Giants here, the offense did pretty well. They went 2-1 in that opening series. Here, pretty good start to the season. They scored 13 runs, I believe 14 runs, I think, in those first 3 games, while allowing just 10 runs in the games. So let's see what you guys have here to start in this one. The Giants bullpen allowed just 2 runs in 10 2/3 innings to start the season. Meanwhile, the Astros bullpen in 8 innings allowed just 1 run here to start the season. So let's see what you got here. San Francisco taking on Houston tonight. And we've got, I think Keadra's got a Nerfie here. Redbeard's on the Giants here in this one. And blue might be on Blanco here. Thomas is on Houston tonight. Ziggy likes under 8. Tamari likes the under. Robert likes the under as well. Definitely some under support here. And for me, I've got the Giants right now, probably a bottom 10 lineup here at this point, and a little bit of a tough matchup probably against Blanco for guys like Adames, Chapman, Ramos could all have a tough situation here, it feels like, coming in. Meanwhile, for the Astros, only have their lineup slightly better than this Giants lineup at this point. Irish King likes under in the first 3 innings. All right. Maybe I'll make my call here in this one between San Francisco and Houston here tonight. And I'm probably just going to end up on another under here. The steam came in on the under. We're at 8 runs here. You know I'm going to be all about the unders anyways. So give me an under here. How many unders do I have so far? 1, 2. Joe's not going to like this. I've got 4 unders so far in the card today. All right, let's go a couple more here. The major leagues, and we'll get to basketball tonight. Tigers taking on the Mariners here in this one, with Job taking on Hancock here with this matchup. Take a look at some of these numbers for these two teams so far this season. For the Tigers coming in, of course, they are 0-3 so far with bad pitching. For sure, so far they've allowed in the 3 games so far this season, 20 runs so far, so not a great start. 0-3 with 3 overs because the pitching was bad. They did score 12 runs, but obviously a bit of a rough start to the season for Seattle here. They are 2-2, 0-3-1 to the under so far. Seattle managed just 8 runs to start the season. They allowed 14 runs to get going, but they are 2-2 after that weekend series against the Athletics. Athletics started well, and Seattle kind of finished strong to get the season going. For Seattle here, I've got them right now, number 9 offensively coming in. They'll face Jackson Job here. So good prospect. We saw Jackson Job last year at the end of the season pitching a few games. Did have one pretty good outing against the White Sox last year with 3 innings and 2 strikeouts. And we saw him have a pretty good spring, a 3.86 ERA. A little bit of an issue with the walks, 6 walks in 16 and a third innings, but he earned this right here to be in the rotation. Meanwhile, for Emerson Hancock here coming in, I think a couple of these bats here of this Tigers lineup, even though I've got them ranked in the bottom 6 here, maybe a good matchup for Torkelson, for Manny Margot here today. Let's see what you guys have with Detroit taking on Seattle tonight in Seattle. And we've got, okay, let's see here. Trying to go back and figure it out here. Ziggy's on the under here for sure. Thomas is on Seattle, it looks like. And here's Luis on the Tigers. NYC Bar, nice to have you today on Seattle. Philly Eagle Flyer says it'll be tied after 2. Doesn't like Hancock very much. Sharon says Detroit here, first 5. All right, I'll make a call here on this one between Detroit and Seattle here today. And Robert, one more here. We got Robert on the under. Jim Duweiger here. Sparty. Great job by Sparty. Sorry, Jim, about them ending up just a little bit short, but I think they made their fans proud. There, my favorite Michigan State, obviously at my age, but I loved that team with Mateen Cleaves. Big memories there with some of those matchups back in the day. I know those were some great teams for sure there. So, all right. And for me in this one, I'm going over tonight with Detroit. I've got an over, Joe. You out there still? I'm going over with Detroit and Seattle here tonight. Even in Seattle, I'm taking an over tonight in this one.
Play.
Hey, the White Sox are taking some steam here right now. We've already talked about this game. It's an early start here. We're seeing some steam on the White Sox right now today. Down to $1.65 and maybe going to $1.60 here. Steam on the White Sox against Minnesota here on the Morning Steam Show. one more in the major leagues tonight, and it's going to be a series between Thomas and I and his Guardians and my Padres here this weekend. And well, Thomas might be giving the nod to my team, but hey, we're just off to a hot start. We're not all that. That's what they tell us anyway, but it feels like it's been a pretty good start to the season for the Padres here. I'm pretty happy watching the games, and been exciting to see the crowds there. They sold out all 4 games to start the season so far. Big weekend over the Atlanta Braves here. Still, though, going up against a pretty good pitcher, it feels like, in Luis Ortiz here to start the season for Ortiz anyway. For Ortiz, 37 appearances last season, a 3.32 ERA and a 1.11 whip. For Kyle Hart, he comes over to the Padres. He pitched in Korea last season. Now, this is a little one of those sneaky Padre things. It feels like there a little bit. It's been a long time since we saw Kyle Hart here. I believe he was a Red Sox product for many years before going over and establishing himself in Korea. There, he was a Red Sox minor leaguer for many years, really. So, really hasn't pitched too much in the major leagues, actually. The Guardians against the Royals had 5 home runs in the opening series, 264 batting average. Ortiz, a pretty good pitcher on the road last season. So for the Padres, look, they rely on their bullpen. They use their bullpen quite heavily, and they did in that first series here. So we'll see if Hart can hang in the major leagues here after looking pretty good in Korea. Cleveland against left-handers, a pretty good team when hitting against left-handers for sure. At least last season they did pretty well on the road, going 15-7 against left-handed starters on the road. For Cleveland here, off to a 2-1 start there, scoring 16 runs in those first 3 games, allowing just 10 runs. The Padres, meanwhile, in that season opener, to get things going here, like I said, 4-0, 1-2-1 to the under so far, and they allowed just 7 runs in those 4 games, I believe. Let's go to the chat tonight in this one, and we've got Jim Steeman. I didn't mean to set Jim. I thought they did great. I know Jim's upset. Okay, Blues on the Padres here. Irish King likes Cleveland to get the win. Ziggy's on the Guardians as well. Here's Luis on the over. Jim likes Cleveland here. Thomas may go with the Padres after all. They're hot. And Robert's on the under here. Blue, he says, got to go Cardinals, Padres, moneyline parlay, and Robert likes the Guards here to get one over the Padres here, and left-hander Kyle Hart, a little bit of a question mark, obviously, with Hart here. So for me, I'm going to take the under in this one with the Guardians and the Padres tonight. All right, I think that, I think we have one more here, right? Philly Eagle Flyer on the over. And I think we've got one more here, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or a couple more, I think, actually. Let me see here. I've lost my, okay, let me get this right. Got the Cubs and Brown. Messed up here a little bit. Athletics and Estes. I typed it in backwards or something. Okay, here we go. There we go. All right, Cubs and Athletics here in this one. You got the Cubs on the road with Brown going up against Estes and the Athletics. here in this one for Ben Brown. Here he comes in as the team's fifth starter to open up the season, and because Javier Assad is going to start the year on the injured list. Now, Brown has appeared in the season opener against the Dodgers. He pitched 2 2/3 innings. He allowed 2 earned runs. He walked 3 and struck out 5 in that appearance, and I believe he did take the loss in that game. He also didn't look that well in spring training. For the Cubs, however, I've got this lineup looking pretty good. I'm really impressed so far. We'll see if they can keep it up. It should be a tough matchup, actually, for this A's lineup against Brown if he can get it going here today. I think all of them could struggle up and down the lineup. Butler, Rooker, Blade, and Duhar, Soderstrom as well. But the price, I don't know. They're an underdog. And even with a bad lineup, I still might have to go with them here with the Cubs as favorite on the road. Let's see what you guys think of this one. Brown, 15 appearances last year, a 3.58 earned run average, and a 1.08 whip coming in for Joe Estes. Here, 25 games last year, had an ERA of 5 and a whip of 1.23. The Cubs have struggled offensively to start the season for sure, hitting just 208 so far. They did manage right now, averaging 4.2 runs a game, able to get a couple of wins so far, but still 2-4 coming in. The A's are 2-2. Pitching's been good. They allowed just 8 runs in those 4 games to the Mariners, but ended up splitting the series. They've gone 0-3-1 to the under so far, have the Athletics. So let's see here what you have. Cubs bullpen's really what's been the problem. 22 runs allowed so far for the Cubs bullpen in just 22 innings. The Cubs are allowing a run an inning with this bullpen. Athletics, meanwhile, have allowed just 3 earned runs in 10 1/3 innings to start the season. Let's go to the chat here right now with Cubs and the Athletics. Here we go. And we've got, Zoe says, where do you guys go to find your best statistics in baseball? Sharon's on the Cubs, first 5. Ziggy's on the Cubs. Jim's on the over here in this one. And Cubs will win their first game in West Sacramento here. I tried to, why were so the A's are playing where the River Cats play, and they're sharing a stadium with them all. Why couldn't the A's play in the Las Vegas minor league stadium here? It's a nice little stadium. Luis is on the A's, and I'm here. I don't know why I'm here in Vegas. Chamari's on Oakland. Jermaine says Cubs run line here. Joe already gave us the over, so I probably can't touch the total here. Joe gave us the over in the game here tonight between the Cubs and the A's. So maybe I'll just have to go with the side. I like the Chicago Cubs. I'm going to take the Cubs tonight to beat my A's here in their debut in Sacramento. I'll take the Cubs tonight. One more here in the major leagues tonight, and we've got the matchup between the Braves taking on the Dodgers as the Braves head north after getting swept out by the Padres. You got Grant Holmes here going up against Tyler Glasnow of the Dodgers. The Dodgers are a 215 favorite in this one. The total 8/15 coming into the final game here of the night. We got the Dodgers, world champions this year, last year, every year right now. The Dodgers come in with my number 2 lineup in the major leagues tonight. And we'll see for Grant Holmes how it goes. I mean, he could have some splits advantages over Ohtani, Freeman, and Muncy, but you're still dealing with Grant Holmes here for sure. So we'll see. For the Dodgers here in this lineup, you got to think that Teoscar, Will Smith, Baez, Mookie all can have a good matchup here. Against
Final.
Tyler Glass now, I've got this Braves lineup, number 13 currently in my ranking. Still could be a tough matchup for Austin Riley and Marcel Osuna here to get this one going, this series against the Dodgers here. Joe did give us the over already, so look, I better not touch that one necessarily, as he's got runs here to get it going. I don't necessarily disagree with Joe in this one, but let's see what you guys have here with the Braves taking on the Dodgers here tonight. And this big number here, obviously a $2 favorite. All right. Here's Cubs. Let me see here. Ziggy will start us off. He's got the Braves on the run line. Philly Eagle Flyer is handicapping with Grok, apparently. I wonder how that works. Do I just go and say, hey, Grok, who's going to win between the Braves and the Dodgers? He says, and Grok will say, in the specific matchup between the Braves and the Dodgers, you must mean you're talking about Holmes versus Glass now. I end up having these long conversations with Grok, and I still don't get the answers. All right, let's see here. Terrell, I think Terrell maybe is going with an over here in this one. And no problem, Zoe. No, I know it's hard in the beginning of the season, what to find with the specifics. I mean, I like batter versus pitcher data for sure. I like looking at the specific pitchers against the lineup. I like to see how the pitcher has fared against a specific, the specific players in the lineup. That's what I look at, really. I mean, look, I'm a market handicapper. I mean, the stats can say completely one-sided, and I'll still end up, taking the crappy team because of what the line does and what the market does. But, I like to look at, pitchers versus batters data, as kind of a starting point in handicapping in baseball. So it may not always look like it. All right, here's Robert on the Dodgers run line today. And that might be it from you guys here. Like I said, Joe's on the over here in this one. So, all right. Here, that might make it a little bit of a big line here today with the Dodgers here against the Braves. I got to take Atlanta on the run line. Give me Atlanta plus a 1.5 today. That's it for baseball. Atlanta, by the way, tonight is plus 1.5 at minus 110. That's going to do it for the major leagues. Wow, that was fun to get going here with our 14 games, I think it was today. So thank you very much for your contributions. Let's get rolling here, though, right now, in a little bit of NBA action tonight and talk the card. We skipped the first game between Utah and Charlotte for sure. Let's go to the Clippers taking on the Magic. Here in this one, you got the Magic favored, or the Clippers favored in this one by 2.5, and the total here down to 210. Another one low here. Right? You're supposed to be high scoring in the end of the season on some of these, right? We've seen 162, 146. Man, some of these are out of control, but not when it comes to the Magic and to a certain extent, the Clippers as well. We got two teams that are kind of under city, if you know what I mean. It feels like, especially Orlando, 15-23 to the under at home so far this season. Get some of my NBA numbers here ready. All these sports, what are we going to do? All right. For the Clippers here, they've been hot. They've covered 8 of their last 9 games coming in. They're 25-17 against the spread as a favorite. Orlando just 13-19 against the spread as an underdog. The Clippers have won 7 of their last 9. They've covered 9 of the last 13 meetings against Orlando. That's a 6-year sample size, pretty much. Orlando's won 4 of their last 5 games coming into this one, including a win over Sacramento at home last time out. Yeah, they lost to Dallas, but before that, they beat some sorry teams, Charlotte and Washington. But remember, they beat the Lakers as well. So Orlando doing pretty well. The Clippers actually took the steam in this game, but the move all of a sudden looks like it's kind of on the Magic here today. Let's see what you guys have. The steam also came in, obviously, on the under. Down here to 210. Let's go to the chat, see what you have here between these two. 7 of the last 10 meetings between the two teams have gone under. And I'm ready for your picks here today in this one between LA Clippers, Orlando Magic. We know that right now both teams obviously heading to the postseason. Orlando, they're in that group of 4 that are they're trying to hang on to the 7 spot. They're battling Atlanta for the 7 spot right now. They are a half a game or 1 game. They're tied actually with Atlanta. Orlando has 39 losses. They have clinched a playoff spot, have the Magic, but they're trying to assure themselves the best record of the play-in teams. Meanwhile, for the Clippers, they're playing really well here. They're practically playing their best basketball of the season, and I think they're going to be healthy here going into the game tonight. See what you have here. Here is Ziggy might be on the under here. Here's Jermaine. He likes the Clippers. Redbeard on the Magic. Robert's on the Magic as well. Jermaine says these guys play a weak schedule. Art Thompson is on the Magic here. Here's Thomas on the Clippers tonight. Back and forth from you guys for sure, it feels like here in this one. And man, this total is low, isn't it? Could it really go this low here? I'm going to try the over here in this one. Look, I know these games, these Orlando games and Clippers, the way they're playing some unders here as well. Clippers have actually gone over in 3 straight, but Orlando's a team that kind of bogs you down. I'm going to try the over here in this one. I feel a little contrarian. I don't know if I want to stand out and do it as a premium. So give me the over with the Clippers and the Magic tonight. The Kings are taking on the Pacers here in this one. The Pacers are favored tonight by 5.5. The total down to 233.5 here. Down 1.5 or so with the Kings and the Pacers here in this one. The widely reported steam did come in on the over in this matchup, but we've seen the total drop here a little bit between these two, and we'll see what you think of them as well as we take a look at the matchup here at 7 p.m. Eastern and 4 Pacific. Sacramento comes in here off of a loss. They've been struggling here pretty good of late. They lost to Orlando 121-91 2 nights ago. They beat Portland at home before heading out on this road trip, but before that they were on a losing streak. Both teams are pretty bad against the spread right now. For Sacramento, 9-16 against the spread as an underdog. Indiana, 18-23 against the spread as a favorite coming in. So see how you guys want to play this one with Sacramento here on the road taking on Indiana. Sacramento just 1-5 against the spread. Their last 6 games overall, they dropped 5 of 6 coming in. They've lost 5 straight on the road. Indiana, meanwhile, just 4-10 against the spread in their last 14 games coming in. Indiana's gone over in 6 of their last 9. However, at home, should note Indiana has won 8 of their last 9 games overall, and they are 6-2 straight up in their last 8 games coming into this one. So let's see what you might do with the Kings taking on the Pacers here tonight in Indiana. And we'll go to the chat and see what you have here in this one. All right, and we've got
Steam play.
a little bit of NHL steam coming in right here between Dallas and Seattle tonight. Steam to the over right now in the game between Dallas and Seattle. They're going to start juicing up the 6 here tonight in this one. We'll get to the hockey here in a bit. Here we go. Pacers team total over for Jermaine. And Ziggy on the under here. Jermaine's on Indy. Robert's on the Pacers. James Parm is on the Pacers. Redbeard's on the Pacers. Could be a consensus here the way this one's going. Robert's on the under here. And Zoe says this total may be too low for these two teams, even given the matchup here. And I kind of agree with that, Zoe. Give me the over in this one with Indiana and Sacramento tonight. I've got a couple of overs so far. Next up's the Heat and the Wizards in this one. And, well, man, we almost can kick the Heat to the curb, but they're in the playoffs, so we're going to preview them until we're done with them. They're in. I don't think there's any reason they're going to even blow this 6-game lead over Toronto right now for that number 10 spot. I've got the Heat in the playoffs. They're actually battling with the Bulls. The Bulls and Heat will be number 9 and number 10. Pretty much for sure. It's just a matter of which team will be 9 and which team will be 10. The Heat, big favorite coming in. They're on a 4-game winning streak. We said stick with the Heat, even if they cost us some money there early on. The Heat have repaid us here with a massive cover streak. At this point, they're one of the hottest covers in the league right now. All of a sudden, are the Miami Heat. For Washington, meanwhile, not so much. We definitely are starting to see in the NBA right now, even more so it feels like than last year. We'll see in the next couple of days how that goes. But it does feel like to me that we're getting some big-time blowouts in some of these games between the haves and the have-nots right now here. These sorry teams, the tank teams are really bad, it looks like, coming right now. I mean, it's bad. All right, let me take a look, though, at a few numbers here, and then we'll make a pick. But look, Miami, they've covered 6 straight games here overall. Miami's gone under in 10 of their last 15 games. They've won 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams. The Wizards are just 1-7 against the spread in their last 8 games. They've gone over in 6 of their last 7. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under here between Miami and Washington. Miami won back at the start of the month, 106.90 on the road. They got the money in a very similar situation. They were favored by 8.5 on that night, and they're favored by 8 here right now. Why wouldn't they win by 16 points or so here in this one? Let's take a look and see what you got tonight with Miami and Washington here. Again, they just met here in Miami 28 days ago. Miami was almost the same exact price at minus 8.5. The total on that night was 217. It went way under. Here now it's 221. By the way, the Devils are taking a little bit of steam right now in their matchup today with Minnesota. The Devils were 145, but right now they're up to 155, maybe even 160 right now. The Devils are taking some steam against the Wild. All right, let's see. I mean, why wouldn't we just get a replay, it feels like, of that matchup from a month ago? Like I said, the haves, the have-nots, it is one-sided right now as far as these teams just beating up on the sorry teams here. All right, here we go with Ziggy's on the Heat here. And Billy Eagle Flyers says the Reds are his top play. Reds game number 1 today, it looks like. I think that's what he said. Zoe says the Heat taking a little bit of action here right now. It says they're moving higher. Yeah. In fact, we showing 9 here at this point. And here's Robert on the Wizards. I'm gonna take the Heat here for me. I'm gonna lay it on the road. Give me the red hot Heat. They're knocking them dead here at this point. Give me Miami tonight here in this one. Abel's on the Heat. All right, let's keep it moving right now and go to the Celtics on the road here, taking on the Grizzlies. Celtics -5, the total 236.5 here in this one with the Celts on the road against the Grizzlies. They fired their head coach over the weekend, despite the fact, I don't know how it works, right? I mean, Heat end up firing their coach despite their position in the playoff picture here. Obviously, I mean, not only have they clinched a playoff berth now, I mean, they're 5th place in the standings. Sure, it's been a little bit of a disaster here of late for Memphis, and sounds like the inmates are running the asylum. Well, that's always a thing you can't say on TV here. So it sounds like the players are running things there in Denver. Boston comes in here red hot right now again. They're the ones that are beating up on teams here late in the postseason. They did not cover against San Antonio, and yeah, I got the money there with San Antonio in that one, but they're still covering every other line, and they just missed that one. They were favored by 12.5, won by 10. Let's go to the chat here in this one, see what you got tonight between the Celtics on the road, taking on the Grizzlies here, and the Grizzlies trying to fix things in time for the playoffs. It feels like right now Memphis has failed to cover the spread in 8 games as an underdog, 0-8 as an underdog so far right now. A little bit of a rugged streak for sure as Boston comes in here favored by 5.
Lineup.
For the Celtics here in this matchup, they've won 16 of the last 18 meetings against Memphis, going 12-6 against the spread in those games. Boston's winning streak currently stands at 8. They've gone 4-1 ATS in the last 5. Memphis just 1-5 ATS in their last 6 games. Memphis has dropped 5 of 6. 7 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Memphis won in Boston back in December, 127-121 as a 7-point dog here. But come on, Boston, they're covering everything. Memphis is in the complete reversal mode here right now. What do you guys have in this one tonight with Memphis taking on Boston here in Memphis? Let's go to the chat and see what you have here with Nasty Nate. Says Celtics going to smash here in this one. Ziggy gives us his plays today. Check him out. He's got the Grizzlies as one of them, +5. He's also got the Nets, the Rockets, the Twins, the Blue Jays, and the Mets. Thank you, Ziggy. Nasty Nate says Celtics here, second quarter today. And let's see what else here we've got. Thomas is on Boston. And here is Jermaine says Boston to smash them. Robert's on the Grizzlies here, and he's on the over. And Abel's on the over here as well. It's just a matter of how much focus for Boston, right? Jaylen Brown is questionable. Brandon Clark's out for Memphis. Peyton Pritchard probable. Big Al probable here today. But again, Memphis having some big-time struggles, and Boston's covering everything. Here's Redbeard on the Grizz. So he's on Boston here. AOD today. I'm on the Boston Celtics. Give me Boston to roll here over Memphis right now. Maybe Memphis is about to turn it around here after the coaching change. Nasty Nate's got Pritch here. I'll take Boston. The Bulls are taking on the Thunder in this one with the Thunder favored by 15. You got, well, two hot teams. The Bulls, remember, they're hot too. Yeah, they did lose last time out there to Dallas. They got stunned there a little bit. Hey, I had Dallas in that game against Chicago, but we know that Chicago is one of the hottest teams in the league here. Nobody hotter than the Thunder, it feels like, especially against the spread right now. Not only have Oklahoma City won 9 straight, they've covered 9 straight, all of them. They're covering them all. Now, Chicago is 10-2 against the spread in their last 12 games. They're playing great. We'll say this, though. Chicago 0-6 against the spread against the Thunder in the last 6 meetings between the two teams. 9 of the last 13 meetings between the two teams have gone over. They only meet once a year here in Oklahoma City, twice a year overall. So that's really a 6 years plus sample size. Oklahoma City's won 7 of their last 8 games at home. They're obviously a huge favorite here right now. We know Chicago, they are in, like I said, they're battling with Miami for that 9 spot, but it feels like Chicago's a little bit better than 9th place right now, the way this team's going, having been on this hot streak. For Oklahoma City here, no doubt, they've been just terrific, smashing everybody left and right, covering all kinds of numbers too, despite the fact that they're the number 1 seed in the NBA right now. They even have a comfortable lead of 3 games over the Cleveland Cavaliers for the number 1 overall spot. So, look, the Thunder are getting every single number here and they put in front of them right now, but they are going up against a fellow hot spread team, not just an everyday opponent here. We have a Chicago team that definitely is on the cusp of totally trying right now in every game, it feels like here, even if they are overmatched. So let's see what you got here. The widely reported steam came in on the under in this one. Good on you. This one feels a little bit square, like everyone's going to be piling in on the over, and I might do it as well. Let's see what you got here. OKC and Chicago today with Zoe says, got to take the Bulls live in the second half. They'll be in it. Here's Thomas on OKC. Redbeard says the Bulls plus the points. Jermaine says OKC team total over. Abel likes the Thunder here. Ziggy likes the under here. And Zoe says the Bulls have covered the fourth quarter in 20 of their last 28 coming in. Irish King says I've got Lakers first quarter, first half. Boston first quarter, first half. Robert likes the over here in this one. Let me actually look at that. 238. It definitely is 238. So give me the Bulls here. I'm going to take the Bulls to cover in this one, but probably going to be on a total here as a premium, it feels like today, between Chicago and OKC. I'll take the Bulls plus 15 points. The Nets are taking on the Mavericks here in this one, and you got the Mavericks favored by 10. Look, I want to, put the Nets have been eliminated here right now from the postseason, but Dallas, they are in at this point. They need to keep at least in this group. They're a game and a half clear of Phoenix right now. They're in ninth place in the West, so Dallas is playoff bound. Now, Brooklyn did take the steam in this one, but like I said, they have been eliminated now officially. They've been hard trying. We know they've been a really good cover here, but officially now done. Will the Brooklyn Nets continue to battle here and cover spreads now that they are officially done? If anything, that Brooklyn cover streak has kind of come to an end of late, even though they did beat Washington last time out on the road. Crummy matchup. They weren't covering against Clippers, Toronto, Dallas. They failed 3 of 4 now that they are officially done. Yeah, maybe they'll keep hard trying. Dallas hasn't been a good cover. We know that, but Dallas is in the postseason. They are battling a little bit here for position, but still double digits. I don't know. Let's go to the chat and see what you have here in this one between Brooklyn and Dallas. Brooklyn has lost 9 of their last 10 games on the road. Dallas has actually covered 5 of their last 6 games overall. Brooklyn 8-4 against the spread in their last 12. Still a big number. And who does Dallas have? Really are they going to come out here all gung-ho and cover? It's down to 9. Let's be fair here. But we know Dallas hasn't been necessarily playing that great either. They did win and cover, though, against the Bulls and Orlando over their last 2 games here coming in. So a little bit of modest success there. The total here is down to 217, I think, in this one. 217.5. There we go. These teams did have their first meeting back just a week ago, and it was 120-101. Brooklyn got that win at home, right? They did, Dallas. Oh boy, I wrote it down here. Pretty poor penmanship. 120-1. Brooklyn got the win. Brooklyn got the win in that one at home, 120-101 there, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, gang. Let's go to the chat in this matchup and see what you have here between Brooklyn and Dallas today. All right. I think Robert's on the under. Redbeard's on the under here. And so he says we should Brooklyn might want to rest players because I don't know why, but all right. Sharp is out. Clowney is out here. Russell probable. AD in the lineup. That makes a big difference, of course, here for this Dallas team, but Lively's questionable. Martin is probable. Gafford is probable as well. So maybe Dallas a little bit heating up here a little bit. And Thomas says that is a lot of points. Okay, Jermaine, thanks. Maybe I wrote it down wrong here. I have impeccable penmanship, but sometimes I get a little goofy. All right. Yeah, it is tough. But again, some of these, like I said, the haves and have-nots, I don't even know if you can call Dallas a have necessarily, right? So, all right. Ziggy said he ended up on the Nets here. I will be on Dallas, so I'm taking Dallas tonight to get a blowout win here over Brooklyn. Okay, one more NBA, good one. Rockets and Lakers here, featured game of the night. The Lakers favored by 4.5. The total 224.5 here right now. The Rockets are hot here again now, 3 in a row. They weren't covering a lot of these games here of late since they've kind of heated up again, but maybe they were favored by a pretty hefty price in some of these games. But here they're an underdog, and they're 12-8 against the spread as an underdog this season. Still, Lakers 24-13 against the spread at home. Rockets 21-15 against the spread on the road. Rockets, we know right now, Rockets in a pretty good position here in second place in the West. They're going to try to hold off Denver here. Whether or not they could use this home, if any team, the Rockets need that number 2 spot, it feels like, so they can handle some of these matchups here against these teams. Because, look, we've talked about it. Even with Denver, even with the Lakers 3 and 4, it doesn't matter. It feels like once they go up against the Thunder, yeah, the Thunder's awesome, but, if you look at the matchup, Thunder and Nuggets, right, you're not going to say necessarily, oh, the Thunder were, 15 games, 16 games better than the Nuggets in the regular season. They'll crush them. It doesn't feel like it, right? It feels like that Jokic immediately, evens up the series to a certain extent. The Nuggets have all that championship experience, and the Thunder trying to do it for the first time type of thing. So, and the Lakers, of course, have their own successes now with their superstar lineup. It's hard to ignore the Lakers' success here of late since adding Luka, and when they are healthy and together. They've had some ups and downs so far since Luka's joined them. They've had blowout losses too, but for the Lakers, have actually won 14 of the last 19 meetings between the two teams. Houston comes in having won 12 of their last 13 overall, but 1-4 against the spread, but that's when they're favored. The Lakers are just 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games overall. Lakers have won 16 of their last 19 games at home. Houston won 119, 115 in a January matchup at home, but again, we're looking at a different Lakers roster here for the most part right now, and see what you guys want to do here in this matchup between the Lakers tonight and Houston. Houston's gone under in 4 straight games when playing the Lakers here in Los Angeles, although the games at Houston did go over back in January. Let's go to the chat and see what you have in this one. Good game to wrap it up tonight. Houston and the Lake Show here. Chat, let's have it. All right. Here's Redbeard. He's got a Luka LeBron double parlay. Wow, can you really do that? Here's Jermaine's on the Lakers money line. Robert's on the over here in this one. The Lakers have been strong in the first quarter, says Zoe. Ziggy's got the Rockets. Thomas is on the Lakers here. Rockets have been looking good in the first quarter. And let's see, Zoe, Rockets third quarter. All right. I got to think it's a great game. It feels like for me here tonight, I'm going under with Houston and the Lakers tonight. All right, that's it for the NBA. Thank you, everyone. We've got more work to do here, man. We're not even on the hockey yet, and we got 4 college basketball games to look at. Let's go to, let's stay in basketball right now, and we'll just cover these games briefly. At the college basketball crown here, we've got Utah taking on Butler in game number 1. Yeah, we've got college basketball tonight with the college basketball crown tournament. They play for $500,000 in NIL money coming in. So let's get your picks here and see what you think in these matchups between Utah and Butler. This is at 3 p.m. Eastern and noon Pacific today, as we have early action in college basketball. For Utah here at the college basketball crown, Utah comes in with a 16-16 record. Butler just 14-19, but obviously in a pretty busy conference in the Big East. Butler is 4-1 against the spread coming in against Big 12 teams. Utah is just 1-6 in their last 7 games against Big East opponents. Butler lost 5 of their last 6 games coming in, but Utah also lost 5 of 6 coming into the end of the season right now. For Butler, they lost to St. John's in the conference tournament. They did win and cover against Providence. Utah, meanwhile, lost 3 straight. They lost to West Virginia and BYU to end the season, lost to Central Florida in the conference tournament. Utah here. Now, all these games are played here in Las Vegas. Utah 10-6 against the spread as a favorite here. Let's go to your picks at the college basketball crown here in Las Vegas tonight and see what you've got in this one. For me, I think I know where I'm headed in this one, but let's see what you've got. I'm going here with the under in. I know we're probably going to see plenty of overs here in this draw. I don't know. I want to see one out of the gate. I'm going to start with the under here with these two. Utah went 14-18 to the under this year. Now Butler was 12-7 to the over as an underdog, but I'm going to try the under to get it started here at the college basketball crown. All right, here we go. These might be a little tricky, huh? And Robert went with the over here. Thomas is on Butler. And we'll keep it moving here real quick. George Washington taking on Boise. Boise comes in with the best record of any team in the college basketball crown. They're 24-10 straight up. George Washington also a good record, 21-12 coming in. In fact, they won 3 of their last 4, lost to Mason in their conference tournament finale for Boise here. They lost to Colorado State by 10 points to be eliminated from the Mountain West tournament. That looks like no slouch after what we saw, right? Because they beat San Diego State and New Mexico, basically 2 other tournament teams. So you think about Boise here, right? They beat San Diego State, an NCAA tournament team, in the conference tournament. They beat New Mexico and in the conference tournament. New Mexico was in the NCAA tournament. They lost to CSU by 10 points in both the regular season and that conference tournament finale, but still good performance this season from Boise State. They've won 11 of their last 14, coming in 10-4 against the spread. Their last 14. George Washington looked good, 7-3 ATS in their last 10 games coming in. So George Washington did a nice job as well. And we'll see maybe if you like anything in this one, but it seems like a pretty good matchup, despite the fact that Boise's been kind of dominant here. And I don't know about the total at this time, so I've got to use Boise here as my play. I think I was going to go Boise as a premium, but I might not have enough on the total in this one to get involved just yet. I do have it on my radar, but right now at is it 141.5 still? Yeah, 141.5. Give me Boise here in this one. Thomas is on Boise. Robert's on the over though here. I should note that because, like I said, I wasn't necessarily sure on the total. Boise had been kind of going under towards the end of the season here a little bit, but Boise went under in 6 of their last 7 games. George Washington went under in 4 of their last 6 as well. Keep it going at the college basketball crown with Nebraska taking on ASU here tonight. Both teams had rough losing streaks to end the season. There's just no other way around it. Nebraska faded down the stretch with a big losing streak, losing 5 straight. Arizona State lost 5 straight as well towards the end of the season. ASU did get a couple of covers. They covered against ASU in the regular season. They lost to Kansas State in the conference tournament, but they still got the money in that one. For Arizona State here, they went 4-8 against the spread in their last 12 games overall. Nebraska just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5, but Nebraska 11-9 ATS as a favorite. ASU 13-10 ATS as a dog. Nebraska's gone under in 7 of their last 8 games against Big 12 foes, and Arizona State went over in 6 of their last 7 against Big 10 competition. So I don't think anything can be made necessarily out of that one. So good, interesting, contrasting matchup here. These are interesting betting games, it feels like, for sure. Here, let's go to the chat and see what you guys have in this one tonight between Nebraska and ASU. All right, nothing from the chat. Give me the under here in this one with Nebraska and ASU. One more at the college basketball crown, and it's going to be Georgetown taking on Washington State here. You got Georgetown favored by 3.5. 159.5. It was Georgetown getting eliminated by DePaul in the conference tournament. Georgetown kind of finished with a thud, if you think about it, how well they were running there a little bit. But they lost 5 of their last 6 to kind of wrap up their season. Washington State, meanwhile, went just 2-9 against the spread in their last 11 games overall, and they lost 9 of their last 14 coming in. And they did win 3 of their last 4, though. They were on a little bit of a roll there they beat LMU in the conference tournament before losing to USF by 11 points as a 6.5-point dog. Washington State was just 4-10 against the spread as an underdog this season. So let's see if you guys have anything here at the college basketball crown matchup between Georgetown and Washington State here tonight in this one. And let's see what you guys have. If anything, not much from you guys at the college basketball crown, but got Robert here says, this one's got to be a little bit too high at 159 or so. Is that, let me see, is that what I have on the screen? I wrote down the wrong number here, but I think it is 158, 159. Yeah, 159 here currently for sure, right? Yep. All right. Yeah, this one pretty tough. It feels like pretty tough for me. It feels like in this one coming in, but I'm going to take the Georgetown Hoyas here. Let me see. Do I have the? Oh yeah, it is 3.5 or so for Georgetown coming in. So, all right. I don't know why I have this one. I do not have the right numbers here for me. I got to run my computer here again. I entered in the wrong favorite. I should have caught that one right away. All right. Give me the over here in this one between Georgetown and Washington State. I've got a big score here. That's probably my least favorite game. Robert went with the under, so I went against my buddy there on both those totals. So, well, we'll see how it goes at the college basketball crown. Let's quickly go to hockey, get these games out of the way. I think I've only got 3 of them lined up because one of them's a non-game pretty much between the Predators and the Flyers. So let's just go over the 3 that are involving some playoff contenders here. How about the Wild taking on the Devils here? We'll get out of here, get these picks out, and get going with our show. Thank you, everybody, for joining me here on a Monday edition of the Morning Steam with a lot of action here. And we've got those women's picks coming up. I can't miss, right? I cannot miss. I mean, how many in a row? I have 12 in a row, 14 in a row. I can't even think of how many games I've hit in a row, it feels like, in the women's tournament. And the funny thing is I don't have complete records spread-wise of the tournament. Now I'm keeping track of the spread winners and everything in the tournaments and everything in the conference tournaments when they've kind of turned it up. But I don't, even if I am one of the more ardent followers of women's college basketball and on these gambling shows, I don't have complete database results. I've pretty much been using the eye test, and the eye test has been working, especially with those unders, if you know what I mean. You don't even need to stick around for the end of the show. Let's go to the ice tonight with the Minnesota Wild taking on New Jersey. New Jersey coming in here off of a win over Minnesota just the other day, right? When was it? 2 nights ago. 5-2 was the final in that one as the New Jersey clobbered Minnesota. New Jersey won 5-2 in that game the other night. So see what you guys have here in this one between New Jersey and Minnesota. Like I said, I'm just going to go quickly with the picks here a little bit. I don't know if we're going to dive too deep into the trends in this one, but New Jersey having a tough time covering some of these puck lines. Just a 1-11 against the spread again on the puck line off of a road win. And we've got Gustafson here against Markstrom as the anticipated goalies here tonight. We'll see what you guys have in this one between the Wild taking on New Jersey here. And for me, I see it probably one way. I'm going to take, the 5.5 under 30. Oh, God. I do like the under. I'll just take it as my free play. Look, you got to think under with these two teams, right? I mean, Minnesota, they're an under team this season. New Jersey's definitely an under, 23-35 to the under as a favorite. Give me the under at 5.5, heavily juiced. I'll take the under. Oh, here's Lego World. I'm so glad Lego World's here to help me. Well, Wild having scoring issues. Yeah, I agree with that for sure. Billy Eagle Flyers sprinkle the draw. And first period over for Lego World, second period under, I think is what that says. We'll see. Let's keep it moving here right now. Oh, man, I feel bad that we're skipping the Lego Worlds here, and I'm skipping the Predators and the Flyers game because, what am I going to do? These teams are, pretty much out of it. I guess I could, give the – no, they're out. We're not going to if you want to put a pick in there, go ahead. I didn't put the game in the previews, so I'm just going to go. Plus, it's a long show. Let me go to Calgary and Colorado. If you got to pick Nashville and Philly, let everybody know here. Doesn't mean I won't have a premium on it, just I'm not going to preview it. We got all these games. Calgary and Colorado, good game tonight. Here feels like the one of the featured games. Minnesota, New Jersey is the best game there, obviously. We got Colorado 265, total 5.5 over 30 here in this one with Flames taking on the Avalanche here. Colorado, pretty hot at home, obviously, right now. The way these guys are going, they're really starting to pick up the pace. Calgary's actually lost 2 in a row here to Edmonton and Dallas to kind of snap their winning streak. Colorado lost to St. Louis last time out. That ended their winning streak as well, but Calgary 17-30 as an underdog, still a big price, man. And Calgary hasn't, they're not awful here. It's been a good season, maybe just a little bit over. That price is wrong, right? 255, 265. Okay, whatever. Here it just feels like, is there really that big a difference between these two teams? Yes, Colorado is hot right now, but gotta give Calgary a chance, don't you, to stay in here with Wolf going up against Blackwood here today? I got to try the Calgary Flames on the puck line here in this one. Yeah, we know that Calgary's more solid at home, but they're 15-14 on the road this season. That's not terrible for a Calgary team. I'll just take them on the puck line here. And let's see what we got. Colorado team total over here says 4-1. I get it. Calgary might not get 2. Oh, all right. I'm still taking them here. I just think that's a pretty big price. I mean, Calgary's, we know Calgary is in the, they're going to the postseason. I think that's going to be, I don't want to say clear, but look, right now, Calgary and Vancouver are virtually tied for that number 2 wild card spot. Utah, they're kind of falling by the wayside. Who do you think will get? It's going to be Calgary and Vancouver battling down the stretch here for that number 2 playoff position. St. Louis has been hot. They could still get in there too. They're on a hot pursuit. I'd say right now it's for one spot between Calgary, Vancouver, Utah, and St. Louis. One of those 4 teams is going to make the playoffs. Calgary is in the driver's seat right now, and they need a big performance here. All right. One more tonight on the ice, and it's going to be playoff-bound Dallas obviously, going up against the Kraken. The Kraken are done pretty much here for sure. So you do have the Stars, second place currently in the Central. That's probably where they're going to end up here in this one as they take on the Kraken here tonight. I'll get my pick out to you, and then we'll wrap up the show. You guys can make a pick here in this one as well. Got Seattle here struggling a little bit at home when they are underdogs. Dallas is on a winning streak right now, big time here of late. So they are $1.70 here, maybe a little bit less on the road, 6.5 under. I better update this total because pretty much 6.5 everywhere right now. There we go. Go ahead and make your pick, and then we'll do the drawing. The show's over, everybody. Thank you for joining me here today on the Morning Steam Show. But I'm going to do our little drawing, see who gets the... And I'm still trying to... we did have a winner the other day with the community parlay, the consensus parlay. Community parlay is on that other show. Sorry to those guys there. I'm going to take there. Here we go. We got Philly Eagle Flyer on the Stars. Here's Stars, puck line, team total over. And there we go. Yeah, and I've really screwed up some of these games. I kind of want to take Seattle here again. I kind of want to take Seattle to play a little spoiler here tonight, and I've been blowing it on some of these. But, gosh, I think these prices are getting a little bit hefty here. I'm got an upset. I'm taking an upset tonight. Give me the Kraken at home. I'm sure Dallas will crush them, but I'm going to take it's not a Seattle is terrible. I got it. I'm taking Seattle tonight. Like I said, Dallas is kind of fixed in their position, right? I don't think they're moving anywhere here. It feels like they're going to come in second place in the Central no matter what. So I'm going to take a little bit. I've lost a couple of embarrassing games this weekend. I've got another one here. Give me the Kraken. All right, that's it. Now, also, here as we get ready for our consensus parlay drawing, want to make sure that we get out the college basketball plays for tonight. I've got the under in the game between TC. I'm going under again. I mean, I don't know what I can do in these women's games. They're all going under. I'm going under again. I don't care if I go under every game. Every game is going under. So the total has dipped from 131.5 to 128. TCU in Texas. Give me the under here. You've lost all the value, but I'm still going under, and I'm going under in the game between Connecticut and USC. It was 140.5. Now it's 138. So our winning streak here on the line tonight, but man, we can't miss in women's basketball right now. We're getting everything right, and I might still have I'll be sending them out in the premiums for sure if I do have a side. I'm considering both games for premiums here, so I want to save those, and we'll just send them out as premiums because we're so hot. All right, you can get my best plays over at winnable.com/Ramon here. So click on the QR code in the middle of the screen there. That'll take you right to the page over there at winnable.com. And for just 56 cents a day, if you subscribe for 1 month, you'll get all my plays. It's plays for days. I send you just a steady stream of updates, couple throughout the day. If you sign up for free, you get those other peripheral sports. And also, you'll get my plays when you subscribe over at winnable.com. So appreciate that, everybody. And we'll have more plays today for sure, especially in baseball. We're off to a pretty good start, it feels like, in the major leagues for sure. So thanks a lot for listening. Oops, I've got the wrong. Oh, gosh, guys. There we go. Messed up the commercial there because I was not paying attention. All right. Well, check me out over there at winnable.com/Ramon. Get my plays for the action here tonight for sure. So appreciate that. I kind of blew it there. Let's do the drawing and see who's going to win the community parlay, the consensus parlay. We're drawing right now. Here we go. And the winner is, I usually say the names, right? Redbeard. Thank you, Redbeard. Appreciate that. We're going to get out of here and get show's over. Thanks a lot, everybody, for joining me here on the Morning Steam. Make sure you check out Mikey Money, 9 p.m. Eastern, or 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. He'll go over the primetime games. He'll probably have some more plays for you in the college basketball crown. He'll have baseball, and maybe he'll touch on those NBA and NHL, but thanks a lot, everybody. Great job, huh? Billy, you call me anything you want. I know what you meant. There's Thomas with those plays today. Thanks, everybody. We're back tomorrow with more Morning Steam. We'll be talking about how I won 2 more women's college basketball games there. Can't lose, it seems like. All right, everyone. Catch you tomorrow, more Morning Steam, 9 Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific for the Sports Money Network. I'm Ramon Scott. Have a great day.
It's gonna cover, it's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice with my player.